Superman's always been one of those characters that I've loved and I've appreciated, but I've never fully gotten into until the last few years. I've always been more of a Batman guy. My uncle has always been more of a Superman guy since he was a kid. That's just the way it's been. Obviously, I still love Superman, and as a kid, I used to have this Superman suit that I remember so vividly. I used to lay on the kitchen chair with my hands forward while my mum would blow the cape like this, with the John Williams score in the background, pretending to be Superman. And I did a pretty damn good job of it as well. Henry Cavill was the Superman of my generation, but I never really felt connected to him like I did Christopher Reeve. Having this dark, edgy, moody, gloomy Superman just wasn't really hitting the spot when I was used to seeing this Lego Superman and the Justice League Superman and the animated series Superman, as well as the comics and the Fleischer series and everything else like that. Having this Superman that was just miserable all the time didn't really connect me with him. So you can imagine my excitement when James Gunn announced Superman, or as it was called back then, Superman Legacy. Superman means a lot to me. Not as much as Batman, but he's still a very vital character for me. I mean, I literally have the logo tattooed on my arm, as well as the Batman logo. What Superman means to me and what Superman represents to me and many other fans across the world, I'm not even going to say it, I'm going to leave it to the GOAT to say it.
A friend.
We'll never have another Superman like him. Superman is everything a human should strive to be. Superman is literally an alien, but he's somehow more human than anyone else. Again, like Christopher Reeve said,
For many years now, I've lived among you as a visitor. I've seen the beauty of your many cultures. I felt great joy in your magnificent accomplishments.
Superman is a character that is connected to the people of Earth. His passion and pride for life on Earth is unlike anything else. Let me show you how excited I am for this film. I have the hat. I have two shirts, I have it in blue and black. I got sent a Funko Pop early to unbox, and you can find that on my TikTok, Twisted Gods, but I got a Funko Pop early. I just recently picked up the Superman Unlimited #1 with the James Gunn and David Corenswet cover on it, as well as the Action Comics variant with David Corenswet on it. Anyway, back to James Gunn's Superman. I remember when James Gunn announced the release date for Superman and he posted it with this bright blue background, the classic Superman font, and it read July 11th, 2025. He was clearly going for this brighter Superman. It was then leaked somehow that he would be having the Kingdom Come crest but with the yellow and red colour scheme. And I was actually really behind this. Then a few days later, James Gunn posted a photo of the crest and it just looked perfect. You've got this beautiful red and yellow against this nice light blue background, a yellow border around the logo. We're doing something a little bit different, but we're keeping it classic. Then we get the first look at the suit. I wasn't completely convinced by it. I did think it was better than Henry Cavill's suit because I just don't really like the dark colours on it. I'm a trunks boy until the day I die. Superman has to have the trunks in my opinion. He just looks naked without them. And on the suit reveal, he had the classic hair curl. He had this long regal cape. The suit was battle damaged, but you can see on his knees and his boots that it's a bright red and blue. We're getting a pretty good suit. The suit was a little bit baggy up here, but it had been reported that that photo was taken behind the scenes, so I was assuming it was a stunt suit, which it's later been proven to have been. It was very clear to me that they're doing the same thing that they were doing with Black Panther on the set of Civil War, I think it was, where they gave him a really baggy suit and then tightened it up in post, which it's later been confirmed that it was. Then the set photos came around and I just fell in love with this suit. I really wasn't a fan of the lines on the original photo, especially one up on the shoulders, but seeing it all flow in the suit, I was in love. He had the boxer brief style trunks just like All-Star Superman. He just looks happy to be Superman. And that's just on set. Then we got the first poster, and I actually think this might be one of the best superhero posters of all time. You've got this awesome shot of David Corenswet looking up as he flies into the sky, surrounded by these vivid red, white, yellow, blue colours. The tagline, "Look up," it's so simple, yet it's so effective. Now, when I originally saw it, I didn't realise there were music on it until I looked in the bottom right of Instagram and I saw the little muted sound icon, so I pressed unmute and I heard this. I actually ran around the house. I was so excited that we were finally getting the John Williams score back. James Gunn seems to be leaning so heavily into Superman. Now I want to talk about some of the things that I've seen in the Superman teaser trailer, sneak peek, full trailer, TV spots, etc. that I just love. Things that give me hope. First of all, the John Williams score's back. The definitive Superman music is back. Now don't get me wrong, I loved Hans Zimmer's score for Man of Steel. But if you played the Hans Zimmer score to someone that wasn't massively into Superman, they would never have guessed it, whereas you play that John Williams score and they know like that. I want to discuss one thing that I don't think is shown enough or presented enough in superhero media anymore. It's the relationship with the people. Superman literally began as the champion of the oppressed. I mean, in his first appearance, he deals with a domestic abuse case. Seeing Superman have such a beautiful connection to the people of Metropolis and the people around him means so much to me. It's been reported and confirmed by James Gunn that Superman and Krypto have this kind of love-hate relationship. Krypto is basically a little shit, but Superman loves him still, which I just think is perfect. James Gunn's pulled Superman robots from All-Star Superman, basically ripped them from the page. Now in the first teaser trailer, there's this shot of Superman kneeling over beside a dead body of a robot, crying his eyes out. That is Superman. He's got such a compassion for life. The artificial life, literally created by aliens, is still valued to him. I also want to talk about his relationship with Park Kent. This shot alone in the teaser trailer convinced me of this guy as Park Kent. I'd previously seen him in The Walking Dead and he was great. He plays a very similar character actually. He's Otis, this farmer that accidentally, spoiler alert, shoots Carl. And just the guilt this guy feels, you really feel bad for him.
I was tracking a buck. Bullet went through it. Went clean through.
If I can get the bullet fragments out.
I never saw him. Not until he was on the ground. You won't need a map. I'll take you there. Ain't but 5 miles.
Otis, no.
Honey, we don't have time for guesswork, and I'm responsible. I ain't gonna sit here while this fella takes this on alone.
How's your thinky?
Wait till that boy of yours is up and around. Then we'll talk.
You stay strong. All right. Hey.
That's a fine weapon, Rick. I'll bring it back in good shape.
And I will never forgive Shane for what he did.
Let me tell you. The hell with this, Shane. I don't.
But anyway, seeing his relationship with Clark, just Clark embracing him in this moment that feels so tender. It was then extended upon in the full trailer, and you hear Park Kent say,
Your choices, your actions, that's what makes you who you are.
that is everything that Park Kent should be to Clark. Henry Cavill's Clark Kent's relationship with his dad was one of the main things that I didn't like about that Superman.
What was I supposed to do? Just let him die?
Maybe.
I also want to talk about his relationship with the civilians of Metropolis. These people are happy for Superman. They see Superman fighting in the sky, they cheer him on. You can literally hear it in the back of the trailer. Now this shot is one of my favorites.
Hey buddy, eyes up here.
He's not saying that for the kaiju. He's not saying that for himself. He's not talking shit. He's saying it for the scared civilians that he knows are behind him, trying to show that he's got control of the situation and that it's really no big deal for him. How can you not love that? Talking about relationships, let's talk about Lois. It's been reported that James Gunn shot an entire 12-minute interview scene between Superman and Lois. This particular line,
People were going to die!
perfect. The delivery is absolutely perfect. And again, he's got such a compassion for saving lives. He literally says it himself, I stopped a war. Why is it such a big issue that I've travelled to another country before consulting the president? It's then followed by this Spider-Man 2 moment where Superman falls out of the sky. He's obviously been hit or something. The people of Metropolis run over to him, shout his name, and then lift him up the way that he lifts them up to be the best version of themselves they can be. I do quickly want to bring up Lex Luthor as well. As soon as it was announced that Nicholas Hoult was cast as Luthor, I was in. I mean, this guy's on a generational run and he's a really good actor. He's great at conveying emotion. And from what we've seen in the trailer, this guy fucking hates Superman. I mean, he's literally shaking and tearing up with anger. Now, we don't know why he hates Superman. I have a feeling that it's because of the JLA are all company-sponsored superheroes that have to play by rules. They're doing it for fame. But Superman isn't doing that. Superman's doing it because it's the right thing to do. Because people are going to die. I've heard reports that Nicholas Holt's Lex Luthor is going to be talked about like Heath Ledger's Joker. And that is a very big claim. But I do think this guy absolutely has the ability to do it. And just talking about the JLA and Maxwell Lord, I've heard so many complaints about the film's too overcrowded. I genuinely think these guys are going to be limited to maybe 2 or 3 scenes. I think out of all of the JLA, we're going to see Mr. Terrific the most because we see him out in the desert fighting Luthor Corp soldiers with Lois. And obviously he's also in that sort of pocket universe whatever it is, we don't know yet. I also want to talk about Ultraman real quick. So it's been confirmed that he is in fact Ultraman. Now we know nothing about this guy apart from his name and his suit. My theory is that the Hammer of Baravia is Ultraman in, you know, like a mech suit. Maybe Lex frames Superman using Ultraman and Ultraman saves the day. But I think that slowly over the time he's going to deteriorate and become Bizarro, and it will be David Corenswet playing Bizarro, Ultraman, or whatever you want to call him. It could also be Parasite, we don't really know yet. But James Gunn's so clearly trying to address the lack of hope in superhero content, especially Superman media as of recent. I'm going to be brutally honest with you, Injustice and Zack Snyder did irreparable damage to Superman, but it's time to build up Superman to be this hopeful, optimistic, bright character that he's always been. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching this video. Thank you all so much for the support on the last video as well, the Batman DCU video. It means a lot, but I will see you all in the next one.